everyone, Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International, back with another important update. Tonight we're going to cover some more strategies, some more things that you can do to really make a difference during this lockdown. Now, I've been getting bombarded with questions. People are putting comments on the YouTube videos. People are putting posts on the videos on Facebook. People are sending messenger messages. People are sending emails. It's going crazy. So obviously there's just simply no way I can answer them all. But obviously we keep getting a few themes of some questions coming through. So one of the first ones is, what do we do? How do we deal with the police? When we want to go out and about and do things during this lockdown, what do we say to them? What do we not say? All that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to address that tonight. I actually covered a lot of that in my last video. Now that was called Your Rights During the Lockdown. And we posted that on the 4th of April. So if you missed that, just look for Your Rights During the Lockdown, and you'll find that either on our Facebook group or on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and just do a search for Know Your Rights Group channel, and you'll find that there. All right, so the other question I keep getting is, what do we do if they do indeed push towards this mandatory vaccination situation? We spoke on the last video about how ScoMo has come straight out and said now that basically the only way for us to get out of lockdown is if we find a vaccine, which would of course in turn lead to mandatory vaccinations. As I've said before, what they'll do is they say, yep, here's the vaccine. 80% of the sheep will just rush off and line up like lambs of the slaughter, say, yep, sure, inject me. And then, of course, what they'll do is they go, okay, well, look, 80% of the people have done the right thing and vaccinated themselves and looked after themselves. And, of course, the 20% of people who haven't, well, you're now posing a problem to everybody else, and, you're causing issues. So you better, get vaccinated. And if you don't, we're going to force you to do it. So, again, we've got plenty of information on our website. So knowyourrightsgroup.com.au. There's a mandatory vaccination, or it's a vaccinations tab. Now, it was put up there to deal with the mandatory vaccinations in relation to, getting the childcare rebates and all those sort of things. But it is absolutely equally applicable to what we're dealing with right now. Now, the most important document, that you will find there is a My Will letter. Now, we explain this to people in our live events and on our radio shows all the time, but an expression of your will is the most important thing that you can do. Now, we have a fantastic opportunity right now during this lockdown to absolutely bombard our politicians with My Will letters. You see, they're still working. Parliament's not sitting, but they're still working, and some of them quite feverishly in the background. So if we use this opportunity when a lot of us are in lockdown and we can't do much, if we use this time to absolutely bombard them with My Will letters, they are forced to open these letters, they're forced to read them, they're forced to respond to them. That's part of their requirements of being a member of Parliament, whether it's state parliament, federal parliament, whatever it is. And they still have a duty to express the will of their constituents on the floor of Parliament when they do meet. So if we can use this time now while they're away from Parliament to bombard them with these My Will letters, to express our thoughts and feelings and desires in relation to the existing mandatory vaccination laws and any proposed mandatory vaccination laws, we are in a really good position to shape our future as we come out of lockdown. Now, this is also relevant in relation to the lockdown laws that they've put into place. So please, this is something we're going to cover on tomorrow night's show. So that's Tuesday night, and it's 8 p.m. Australian Eastern. It's standard time now because we've finished daylight savings. So please make sure you tune in. Just go to knowyourrightsgroup.com.au/radio-show, and you can tune in live to that show. You can also download the TuneIn app to your phone or your tablet or your mobile device. Do a search for RAT FM, R-A-T FM, and you can listen to us live that way. You can also just go to ratfm.com, click on the player button, and you can listen to us live that way. So we're going to be discussing all of this in a lot more detail on tonight's show. It's a 2-hour show, so we can cover a lot of information. And one of the things in particular that we're going to be discussing is a new letter that Daryl has drafted that is going to be specifically to send to the Chief Medical Officer Okay, so be sure to tune in for that because it's going to be, again, a really, really powerful strategy. All right, now, speaking of bombarding people with paperwork, again, I know I've said it on other videos, but it's so, so important. We have a fantastic opportunity right now. So many people have said, oh, I can't do it normally because I've got no time. Well, now you've got all the time in the world. Bombard these agencies with the letters from this Aussie Speeding Fines book. Okay, all the letters come on a CD. They're all in the book. It's again, I'm just going to quickly let you know what's covered in these chapters. You know, what to say and not say when you get pulled over. The 3-step process of letters. Exactly what to do if you get a ticket in the mail. How to legitimately adjourn your case for a long time. This is one of the key strategies we've been talking about. Right now, the courts are shut down. They're not hearing any new cases. It could be 3 to 6 months before they really start up again. Even when they do start up, they're only going to be hearing really urgent cases because they're going to have massive backlog. So you can use this strategy to easily adjourn your case well beyond that 12-month statute of limitations. And once that happens, they can't pursue it. Okay, all of this stuff's there. You know, all the stuff about radar, camera, you know, radars, lasers, cameras, all that sort of stuff. You know, that's not going to be applicable to everybody. But this stuff can all be adapted to red light fines, mobile fines, not wearing a bicycle helmet fines. These new COVID-19 fines can all be, you know, you can all use these same strategies. We heard of someone today who was taking, I don't know if it was their son or their daughter, an L-plater. They were taking them for driving lessons because they thought, hey, this is a good idea. The roads are quiet. It'll be a little bit safer for them to learn. They copped a $1,600 fine because they were teaching their son or daughter how to drive at a quiet time on the road. Now, how on earth can that possibly be going against anti-quarantine issues? How can that possibly be, you know, spreading the COVID-19 virus around or anything like that? You're locked in a car. Yeah, sure, all right, don't maybe, you know, go to the shops and just loiter around and wander around, but you're stuck in a car, you're doing a driving lesson. I mean, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they are so desperate for whatever revenue they can get, and this is a perfect way to do it. And, you know, this was posted on Facebook, and I said, listen, you know, if nothing else, just turn the fine over, say, I want this heard to court. It'll never get there. It's going to be dragged on so far, so long. But absolutely, you can use the same strategies from that Aussie Speeding Fines book to challenge even those fines. Now, talking about wandering around the shops, again, the other one that I keep getting is people keep sending us messages. Listen, I keep coming up against shops who are refusing to accept cash. Now, again, we've said it before, cash is legal tender. Go and pull out a note. I don't have any on me, but go and pull out a note and read it. It says it's legal tender. Okay, they can't refuse to accept legal tender, but more importantly, they can't force you to use non-legal tender over legal tender. That's a big no-no. Okay, that's contrary to the Consumer Competition Act 2010, and you know it's a restrictive trade practice. All right, they can't say, oh, you have to use a credit card, which is not legal tender. It doesn't appear anywhere in the Bills of Exchange Act or the Currency Act. It's not legal tender. They can't say, yes, you have to use this tap and go technology rather than actual cash, which is legal tender. Okay, so hold them to account on that. Stand your ground on that. If they keep refusing, show them that. You know, I suggest you have it, you know, on one of your bookmarks on your page. The Royal Australian Mint. Okay, ramint.gov.au. Look under the news section and you'll see it there. COVID-19 news, you know, bulletin or something, and it says cash does not spread the COVID-19 virus and you should not stop people or restrict people from using it. It says that very clearly. Now, you know what? If they still refuse, if they still say, no, that's our policy, we're not going to do, so you know what? Under duress, I'm going to pop it on my credit card. Tap your credit card, make sure you've got a witness, record it if you like, then go away, send a letter to their head office, say, right, I was forced under duress, you refused to accept my legal tender payment in cash at your such and such branch or your such and such store. I want that credit card payment refunded within 7 days. If you don't refund it, then I'm going to lodge a dispute with my credit card company. Now, because you made that payment under duress, okay, they can't hold you to it. All right, so here's all great strategies that you can use. I mean, this is just one of many. If you like that strategy, again, grab that Bank Secrets Revealed book. Okay, there's tons of strategies in there. There's tons of information in there. Now, again, I want to make it clear. This is not so people can go out and rort the system. Okay, it's not to, abuse a loophole or anything like that. But listen, if you've gone into a shop and you've tendered legal tender, you've tendered cash, they refuse, you've explained to them why it's not dangerous to accept it, you've shown them the Royal Australian Mint thing, if you've quoted the various sections of the Currency Act and the Bills of Exchange Act, and they're still not prepared to listen, well then it becomes their problem. Okay, as they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. All right, so if you think that's a great strategy, if you want to know about challenging credit card debts, if you want to know about challenging personal loans, okay, if you're really struggling at the moment, like a lot of people are, all the information you need is in that Bank Secrets book. So just go to banksecretsrevealed.com.au and grab that book. Now, if you want to know how absolutely incredibly powerful the information is, I mentioned it very briefly that we were going to get a testimonial, but I want to read it out for you just very, very quickly here. It says, "Hi guys, thanks for getting back to me. I received my book. I've also sent a private message to Bank Secrets Revealed Facebook page. Thought you might be interested too. I bought the Bank Secrets book, just finished a 4-step bank process, NAB ×1, ANZ ×2 for 3 credit card lines of credit I had. Last correspondence was a default notice requesting minimum balance payment, or they'd send it to a debt collector. This was received prior to letter number 4 being received on their end. I replied with the bank reply as a courtesy, and they've received that by now. ANZ business credit card, result logged into the bank app, and a full amount was credited with transaction description, automatic initial charge off. ANZ personal credit card, same as above. Same result on the same day." And she goes on to give a little bit more information. But that's 3 credit cards right there, all discharged just by using the letters in that Bank Secrets Revealed book. Okay, it really is that powerful. If you haven't got a copy, especially now when a lot of people are struggling financially, that is really the best thing that you can do to protect yourself. All right, so these are very specific, real world practical strategies. Okay, and again, there's more in the Know Your Rights book. I went through the full chapter list in that last video. If you didn't see what was in that book, make sure you have a look on that last video. So lots and lots of real world practical strategies, which is great, but I want to take it to another level. Okay, because I've said this on other videos, but it really comes down to our focus, our thoughts, our energies. What you look for is what you see. We go right back to the Bible tells you that. Seek and you shall find. So seek solutions, seek answers, look for them. They are out there. There's books full of strategies. There's websites full of strategies. Okay, but keep your energy high. Okay, keep positive. Remind yourself every day of all the things you're grateful for. Remind yourself every day of all the things that you're thankful for. Remind yourself of all the hundreds of thousands of people, okay, that are actually recovered already from COVID-19 and that are doing so every day. Okay, if you want to go a little bit further, have a look and start doing a search for some of the other positive ideas that are coming up around what else might be going on. Sure, there are some people who believe, this is a push towards, complete control and mandatory vaccinations and all the rest of it. But there are other thoughts out there too. There are other beliefs out there as well. So look for some of those positive thoughts. Look for some of those positive beliefs. Okay? Keep your energies up though, because your vibration really does affect the world around you. Okay, and this is what they're trying to do. They are trying, as I've said before, this divide and conquer approach. They're trying to place everyone into fear. They're trying to place everyone into isolation. They're trying to place everyone into frustration and anger at the system and all these negative emotions. So what we need to do is we need to push those aside. Absolutely, get fired up. Get fired up to the point where you're prepared to take action, for sure. But don't get angry. Don't get frustrated, because that's not going to help. Keep the energy high, stay focused on the solutions. Anthony Robbins says there's no point going out into the garden and going, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Okay, that's not going to fix the problem. Okay, you've got to acknowledge that there's weeds, go, okay, great, what can I do about it? And then go and take some congruent action to do something. So there are issues out there. There are problems, there are potential problems. So don't ignore them, be aware of them, prepare for them, as we've covered on other videos. But now get your head around the strategies, inform yourselves, educate yourselves about what you can actually do to make a difference, to shape what you want your world to look like when we come out on the other side of this lockdown. All right. So if you want some strategies, grab those books. I'll put some links in the comments or the description below, so you can have a look at those. If anyone out there is still struggling with their rent or mortgage payments, they want to know how to save some money on those, or if anyone just has any general questions that they want answered about this stuff, we do have those 15-minute one-on-one coaching sessions available now. So you'll find that again on our website, knowyourrightsgroup.com.au /products, or on our shop page, and you can book those. But again, stay focused, stay positive, keep the energy high, keep looking for solutions. But most importantly, once you've educated and informed yourself, take action. Actually write the letters, actually implement the strategies. Okay, because knowledge isn't power. Knowledge put into action, that's true power. So put it out with positive intent, positive focus, positive energy, and go and make that happen. All right, as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all again very soon. And don't forget to tune in to the Know Your Rights radio show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. See you later.